Got some good work. Oh, sorry. Get some good work in today. A lot of base fundamental stuff. Just going back to basics in a lot of different areas. Just because these off weeks, you want to revise. Whether it's hand placement, eye placement, a lot of one-on-one drills, a lot of fundamental drills, all 7-on-7 and some team at the end. Good special teams work, but good hard day. They got good work in today. A good attitude.
Any update on the 3 defensive tackles, Jimbo?
That'll be evaluated day by day, just as they go.
Getting those young guys on film for the first significant snaps, how'd they look out there?
Good. I was very pleased with a lot of it. You see a lot of the potential. I mean, still assignment-wise, got to get cleaned up a little bit with those young guys. But I still like the athleticism, the potential. Played aggressive, made plays, hits or catches, and got balls, whatever. But there's a lot of potential out there. We just got to keep developing as football players.
Go ahead. How important are those first reps that those guys get?
You got to get out there and you got to get in that game and get it broke in, as they say. And it's really interesting to watch them how they handled that first time on the field. And I was very pleased with all that. I don't think anybody shied away or was scared to get out there. Very comfortable when they got out there, and I thought played pretty well.
You had a leg way out there for the first time since last spring. Just talk about having him back.
Very athletic again. Looked very good. I mean, we'll bring him along here as we go as quickly as he can go. But we got a little plan for him. But it was very good to see him out. He's worked very hard to get back out. It was great to see him.
Encouraging what you saw.
Oh, very
moving
encouraging.
Around.
Extremely encouraging. He wouldn't have been out there, or he wouldn't have been out there at all. He'd been kind of that way in his workouts, off the side. So very encouraging.
Encouraging enough to say, all right, well, he's a legitimate guy to play against Clemson.
I don't. It's his first day out. We got to see how it reacts. If if there's a lot of soreness, if there's any swelling, you know what I mean. But don't anticipate any. But you gotta wait and see.
How did Derek Mitchell look? You've gotten to see him for 2 games now.
I think Derek Mitchell's playing as good as anybody we got up front. I think Derek's doing a great job. I think he's really emerging into a very good football player. And before it was nothing but health. You know what I mean? He's just now healthy and knows what to do, and I think he's playing really well.
So the confidence level is pretty high if he has to be the starter against.
Oh, in a heartbeat. He's playing as good as anybody. I mean, he's played a lot of ball and doing a really good job. Played almost the whole game the other day. Probably played the best of any front guy we have.
How encouraging is that for you? I mean, for you to see a guy who's, like you said, has had some health issues, for him to finally, kind of get a chance to shine.
In the old days, before y'all would shoot them if they weren't All-American at the time they're sophomores, that's when everybody played when you were a redshirt junior. I mean, you go back to the stories. I mean, that's the time. If everything's laid out, I mean, ideally, I like playing all these young guys, but in a perfect world, I liked it in the old days too. When you got those guys that they knew what to do, when they get out there, they've been through a lot of battles, and not just on the field, but in practice. Fought through a lot of stuff, fought through some adversity, and that's very encouraging. I'm very happy for him.
Lane.
You see the nutrition staff out there each and every day. How important is what they do to this?
It is good. The energy, the mindset, and it helps them in class. Replenishing, refurbishing their bodies to get them to when they go to class, study at night, all those things, and they do she's doing a great job. I mean, tremendous job.
Speaking of the defensive tackles, you got some look at Derek and Dottie out there. Just first impressions of him getting out there.
I was very pleased with Noddy. I think Noddy's got a great future, and I think he can help us here pretty quickly. I like what I saw. Big, strong, athletic, stayed disciplined in what he did. I like what I saw. Bunch.
As a team that practices at the pace you guys practice at, what does it do when you don't have when you're so thin on defensive line in practice? How do you adjust?
Well, we're really not though. We still have plenty of reps. Still had Desmond. I thought Christmas did a nice job. You had Noddy. I mean, you had Derek Mitchell in the game. All those guys. We got plenty of bodies in there, and that was just more quality reps for them, and we get to evaluate them.
Going back and looking at film, I mean, how well did Derek Mitchell actually play?
Really well. Probably played the best of anybody up front. And has, in the last game he didn't get as many reps, but Derek has played as solid as anybody.
I mean, do you feel like he's kind of,
Oh, I feel he's like a starter. I mean, you can put him in the game, feel very comfortable about what he's doing and how he's doing it, and very pleased with him. Extremely.
This may be a little bit. It looks like Maven Saunders.
Usually yours are.
Yeah. It looks like Maven Saunders has been working out with the wide receivers. Is that just to get him some more tests with hands, or?
He's playing tight.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, it seems like he's doing running routes, catching some balls during practice or whatever. I didn't know if you guys were wanting to work on his hands.
No, when we warm up, we'll put all the skill guys in. If they're not involved in a special team, they'll go over and run fades, or you even see Pugh and those guys. You'll see those outside backers over there doing it. They'll do it to get loose and just to get balls. I mean, we do that with running backs, whoever else is over there.
Just a ball skills thing.
Yep.
Coach, can you talk about Lorenzo Featherston? I mean, he stepped in there today, taking first team reps.
Lorenzo's going to be a heck of a player. I saw him. I loved him on special teams right now. He's going to be. He's a lot stronger than you think he is. He's very dynamic, electric, very fast twitch. I think we just get to keep playing him more and more. He's going to be a really good player. And I think before it's all over with this year, I think he'll have a chance to be a really good player.
Jimbo, you still evaluating punter position at all? Or?
Yeah, we are, guys. If it was different, I would put somebody else in there.
You got anybody? I knew you had.
You got any problems at home? That's what I'd ask somebody. Everybody got debt. Everybody got things going on in their life. Why don't you just go erase it?
Got anybody new out there to look at?
They're all the guys have been punting from camp and through, and he's kicking the best. He's punting the best.
The thing with him, I assume, is he's kicking it well in practice, right?
Kicking
It's
it
just
very
not
well.
transferring
He's
over
gotta
right
get
now.
over the game and gotta get there.
Or don't punt.
He only did once.
I know. How did Jameis, looking at the film, how did he
Great.
grade out?
Super. I mean, he was 22 of 27, had 3 drop balls. One of them was a little touch pass in front, and one he missed, by a yard on a post route. I thought he was very sharp, very clean, good with his reads. Oh, he had a high throw in the flat. Take it back, high throw in the flat. But we got to continue just all the little things. That's why I push him and challenge him a lot. Just clock management, game management, tempo. Just so many little things that can really make a difference.
And I know the competition wasn't what you'll see later on, but to score to end the half and to score to open the half
and to
is
score
what,
the first 4 drives. He had the ball
Right.
8 times. He scored 7 drives. He scored the first 4 as touchdowns. I mean, he had 290 yards on 4 drives. I mean, I don't care if you play it on air. That's hard to do.
Right.
I mean, it really is. And I was very proud of the efficiency of what we did. We mixed the ball. We ran it. We threw it. They were playing soft, trying not to give up big plays. We were making reads underneath, being patient. When the big plays come there, we took a shot at them. Was very pleased. I mean, we had to, in the red zone, I thought we could have caught 2 balls, but hey, that's going to happen every now and then, and that's ball. But we scored 7 out of 8 drives. Very happy. With
also good to see situationally, though, the 4-minute drill at the end of the half to go down and then to start the second
And
half.
we didn't start in it because we had to get to field
Right.
position before you did it. Because everybody says go 2 minutes. When you're backed up and go 2 minutes, all of a sudden you go 3 and out, and you punt it, and all of a sudden they're taking the ball back. They get 2 minutes before the half, so you got to be careful. But I was very proud of how we handled our Mayday, what we call Mayday alert, and worked into it, and was very efficient in that.
Jimbo, a Citadel offensive lineman said that they were going for the knees to kind of be extra active. Is that anything you saw?
No. I mean, that's how that offense blocks. I mean, we cut people too. I mean, but that offense, it cuts. And I don't think they were deliberately trying to do something. There's some always questionable blocks when you play a team like that. A lot of our guys that got injured weren't just those people fell into them. They weren't all cut blocks and things like that. But there was a couple that were questionable. But that's always in every game. I mean, I don't think they're coached that way, and I don't feel their players that way. Their player may say something like that, but that's, I don't buy all that.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any reaction when they made? I mean, when you saw the comment or heard the comment?
Yeah, take social media and throw it away. That's another great example of social media. When you know what I mean. That I just that's the bad. There's some great things about social media. Don't get me wrong, but those are some of the things when somebody makes a 20-year-old statement, or however old he is, and wish you could pull it back, and before you hit that send button, it's not like saying stuff because if nobody hears you, it's all right. When you hit that send button, the world hears you.
Does it mean something to you? I think they just in the last hour sent a letter to our paper apologizing for that and apologizing.
No, I think
for
their
his
coach. I've
actions.
talked to their coach, and he was, and we had a great conversation. I know they don't teach that, and I don't think that's indicative of their program. They got a great program, and things happen, and kids do things. I mean, so I say if you hold a whole program hostage to what one young man says all the time, then it's like having if you got 10 brothers and sisters, 9 guys, and one guy's a knucklehead, and he does something or says something, your whole family's. I mean, that's not how they're coached and how they do. And they got a great program, and that's just one young man being a knucklehead.
You guys know Clemson as well as anybody, but does the extra week of prep actually help?
Oh, I think it does. Well, because the prep here, too, you get to watch more film, but sometimes you get to overthink things, too. Sometimes film really. But what I like about the week is getting back to just getting fundamentally sound again, and it came at a good time because of our health. You know what I mean? I mean, that you don't. Off weeks can be, you think they're at the right times before games, but this one turned out to be pretty good because of our health. It let some guys get healthy, get some other guys back, hopefully, and see where we go.
So did you go right in the game plan this week?
No, we did a big fundamental day today. We were a lot of fundamental special teams, run blocking, run defense, pass one-on-one, back to what we call deep ones, receivers and DBs blocking each other because they're going to throw. Everybody knows so many screens nowadays. You got to keep working on how you get off of them, how you leverage them, and how we block them, and how we throw ours. I mean, a lot of almost like a 2-a-day type practice. You know what I mean? One of your fall practice type days.
Everybody wants to compare this defense to last year, and
every team is different. See, last year's team that was one of the most dominant teams ever. This team is a heck of a team, but like I say, it's two totally different. It's like comparing 2 brothers. It's unfair to each brother, and both of them can be successful in their own way. You know what I mean? This team is different and different offensively, defense. I think it's different in all phases, but it doesn't mean it can be any less effective. Now, maybe it's not as we may not always. Last year, I've never been on a team that won an average of 40 points a game. Been there 25 years. That was in Pop Warner too. I don't know if Pop Warner we was ever that dominant. We won championship every year. I mean, you know, I think that's the thing that we got to remember. Just let this team be who it is and play who it is, and which is a very good team. I'm not downing it. It's different.
But specifically, last year you had all those seniors. They didn't miss a lot of tackles. This team, it seems like there's more missed tackles.
Well, I say that, but you look at leverage points. There was missed tackles, but go back to the first games of last year. I mean, Bethune-Cookman ran for 180 or 90 yards on us. You know what I mean? And everybody was, the sky's falling. Then BC ran for 300. I mean, and when it was sky, I mean, each team will follow into its phase. We'll get guys, as you get a leg way, and hopefully Matthew Thomas in time, you get those guys back. I mean, you add more depth, you add more young guys. In the Oklahoma State game, it was more run. Most of those came in the fourth quarter when we got tired. The first 3 quarters of that game, 2.5, we were pretty good. Making tackles in space and playing guys. And, as this team evolves and the depth evolves, it'll get better and better. But, I mean, I still think we can have a great football team on all phases.
I mean, last year it seems like that defense played really angry and stuff. I mean, it seems like this year's defense is a little different. Do you change the way you approach
coaching,
to them?
Same everything. It's the same. And early in the season, it wasn't that angry. I keep going back to that. Early last year, there was a lot of questions on this defense. You know what I mean? It evolved itself. And you had a lot of seniors. You had a lot of seniors that had been through some things. Joyner and Telvin were very dynamic guys. You forget Terrence Brooks back there. See, Terrence Brooks, I mean, not that these guys aren't, but I mean, you had guys been through a lot of things. But that team, defensively to it, found its niche and got everybody in the right. We moved Christian Jones, got him up on the edge. Remember when he was at linebacker, and we got got Terrence Smith in the game, and and everybody's finding it. That's why I say a team is ever evolving. You keep getting better each week. You keep coaching, and it's you got to get better than your opponent each week.
And those guys realize that? I mean, the players realize that?
Oh, yeah. I hope so. We tell them that every day. We just got to be who we are and keep playing well.
You allow yourself on Sundays to go to ESPN and check the box scores of your former players in the NFL?
I do. I did this Sunday because we had the off week, right. So I checked on guys, got to watch. I saw all those guys make their debuts and got saw KB have a great day, and some of those guys I was very happy for.
Neat for you, especially maybe with a guy like
EJ played well. I mean, EJ that's a big win going to Chicago and getting that win. Happy for him, and just all those guys. I do because I want them to all do well. I keep up with them. I chew them out enough. That's why they're there. Try to get them prepared for that.